of my perfect breasts. He lifted his gaze from my cleavage, his eyes hot and hungry. Then he flipped open his wallet and showed me his badge. I'm looking for Eddie Cordova. I hear you know him. Just my luck. A cop. Yeah, I know Eddie. I dated him once, if you could call what we did dating. The last time I'd seen Eddie, he'd been comatose in the bathroom at Jimmy Woo's. I'd had to step on his wrist to get him to let go of my ankle. Do you know where I can find him? Eddie was a small-time thief, and worse, he'd been a lousy lay, and I didn't feel a twinge of guilt when I said, I might. Yeah, I might help this guy out. And the way he was looking at me, I could tell he wanted more than... The telephone next to Jane Alcott's computer rang, pulling her attention away from the screen and out of the latest installment of The Life of Honey Pie. Damn, she swore. She pushed her fingers beneath her glasses and scrubbed her tired eyes. From between her fingers, she glanced at the caller ID and picked up. Jane, the managing editor at the Seattle Times, Leonard Calloway, began without bothering to say hello. Virgil Duffy is talking to the coaches and general manager tonight. The job is officially yours. Virgil Duffy's corporation was a member of the Fortune 500, and he was the owner of the Seattle Chinooks hockey team. When do I start? Jane asked and rose to her feet. She reached for her coffee and spilled a drop on her old flannel pajamas as she brought the cup to her lips. The 1st. January 1st gave her only 2 weeks to prepare. 2 days ago, Jane had been approached by Leonard and asked if she was interested in covering for sportsbeat reporter Chris Evans while he underwent treatment for non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. The prognosis for Chris was good, but his leave of absence left the paper in need of someone to cover the Seattle Chinooks hockey team. Jane never dreamed that someone would be her. Among other things, she was a feature writer for the Seattle Times and was known for her monthly Single Girl in the City columns. She didn't know a thing about hockey. You'll hit the road with them on the 2nd, Leonard continued. Virgil wants to smooth over the details with the coaches, then he'll introduce you to the team the Monday before you leave. When she'd first been offered the job last week, she'd been shocked and more than a little puzzled. Surely Mr. Duffy would want another sports reporter to cover the games. But, as it turned out, the offer had been the team owner's idea. What will the coaches think? She set the mug on her desk, next to an open day planner with various colors of sticky notes stuck all over it. Doesn't really matter. Ever since John Kowalski and Hugh Minor retired, that arena hasn't seen a capacity crowd. Duffy needs to pay for that hotshot goalie he bought last year. Virgil loves hockey, but he's a businessman, first and foremost. He'll do what it takes to get the fans in those seats, which is why he thought of you in the first place. He wants to attract more female fans to the game. What Leonard Calloway didn't say was that Duffy had thought of her because he thought she wrote fluff for women. Which was okay with Jane. Fluff helped pay her bills, and was wildly popular with women who read the Seattle Times. But fluff didn't pay all the bills. Not even close. Porn paid most of them, and the porn serials, The Life of Honey Pie, she wrote for Him magazine, were wildly popular with males. As Leonard talked about Duffy and his hockey team, Jane picked up a pen and wrote on a pink sticky note, "Buy books on hockey." She tore the note from the top of the block, flipped a page, and stuck it in her day planner beneath several other strips of paper. And you have to remember you're dealing with hockey players. You know they can be real superstitious. If the Chinooks start losing games, you'll get blamed and sent packing. Great. Her job was in the hands of superstitious jocks. She tore an old note marked Honey Deadline from the planner and tossed it in the trash. After a few more minutes of conversation, she hung up the telephone and picked up her coffee. Like most Seattleites, she couldn't help but know the names and some of the faces of the hockey players. The season was long, and hockey was mentioned on King 5 News most nights.